Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome to part 3 of my DVD library collection, you say. So, and in a part there where the horror is, but over here, the horror still section is still going on over here. There's a there. So the horror section is still continuing over here. So let's get right to it. Then after we're finish with the horror, finishing getting to the science fiction section now. Like I said before, all in alphabetical order because I like to keep everything organized, so. So let's continue more on the horror. This one I thought was I have to review this one, but I thought it was a pretty good one. The Shaft, which is about basically like a killer elevator. Next, it was another one that I enjoyed from 2016, The Shallows. Then Shark Lake. Disappointing Dolph Lundgren film, I can say that. And then two like really ridiculous concepts though, but just Sharkenstein, and then Shark Exorcist. Yeah, it's very silly concepts and dumb. But then we got what a favorite of mine, especially a classic, The Shining. Love this film. I reviewed it. You can check it out, and which I reviewed also last year, which is also one of my favorites of last year. Back to Sleep. Really enjoyed Dr. Sleep. It's one of my favorites of last year, 2019. Next is another great one from director Wes Craven. Shocker, one of his finest ones. Then we got The First Silent Night, Deadly Night. Then of Silent Scream. A favorite, one of my favorite. Desert Dog Soldier is my all-time favorite werewolf film, but this is a good one too. Stephen King's Silver Bullet. Then this is the special edition of The Sixth Sense. Then I have a Skeleton Man, Catherine Van Dien and Michael Rooker. Then we have Stephen King's Sleepwalkers. Next is it's my favorite Johnny Depp film, and also my favorite Tim Burton film, Sleepy Hollow. Here we have Slither. This one a found footage film that I do enjoy, and that also didn't have a downbeat ending. The St. Francisville Experiment. I'll have to give this one a review. So yeah. This is a good found footage film. St. Francisville Experiment. And this one I think I prefer better than The Sixth Sense. The Stir of Echoes with Kevin Bacon. I think I prefer this much better than the Sixth Sense. Then another one from the late director Larry Cohen. May he rest in peace. The Stuff. Enjoy this one as well. Then there here I have Stage Fright. Then Stigmata. And then of The Strangers. we get to Survival of the Dead. Then of this one I think is underrated, The Swarm. Guard, one of the worst movies ever made. I disagree with that. I enjoy The Swarm. Then you got Tales from the Crypt film called Demon Knight. I have to watch the show Tales from the Crypt, but this one you have Billy Zane in this. Tales from the Crypt. Then you got Tarantulas, the Deadly Cargo, with Tom Atkins. Then we get to another franchise, which is an all-time classic, considered one of the best horror films ever made. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Rest in peace, Tobe Hooper, as well with Gunnar Hansen and Marilyn Burns. Then we got to me another one of the better horror remakes, the 2003 remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, special 2-disc edition. Then we got, to me, this is the true sequel, people, if the other ones say. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 with Dennis Hopper. Number 3, Leatherface, Part 3. Then you got Texas Chainsaw Massacre The Next Generation. At least Matthew McConaughey was fun in the role, but still a shitty film, though. And then you got the bad prequel, Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, with its dumb ending. This was supposed to be like the real sequel, because it takes place directly after the original. Sorry, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is better than this one. Texas Chainsaw 3D is called. And you got the prequel to Texas Chainsaw 3D, or to the original, Leatherface. And which I know I've heard they're going to try to do another one, which why? This is a completely really bad, but thanks killing. Really bad movie. But you get to that shitty film, to my all-time favorite horror film. That is John Carpenter's The Thing. My all-time favorite horror film. Love this film to death. My dad loves this film, and from awesome effects, score, cast, and is well directed by John Carpenter. My favorite John Carpenter film, of course, it was my all-time favorite horror film. Yep, one of my all-time favorite directors as well. Then he gets that, and then he gets the shitty prequel, The Thing, which is titled the same thing, the same name. And it's like with the Halloween movies, you got the Halloween 1978, then you got 2007 Halloween, and then Halloween 2018. Why keep on this habit of naming the same name? Why can't I just add a different title to it, But no, it has to be called The Thing because of the name. So yeah, but the 2011 one sucked. And then you have 13 Ghosts. And then you got this is another remake that I did not mind, also from director Tobe Hooper, The Toolbox Murders. And then you have this one, which Toxic Shark, which comes in with 2 bonus movies as well. You see right there, Beneath the Mississippi and Krogzilla. But bad. The first one, Toxic Shark, bad. And then you got another franchise, but this is why I review this frequently, and even did a fan commentary on this. Another one of my all-time favorites, and the poster is right here if you can see it. Right there. That is of Tremors. Yep. Love this film to death. I said this about this film countless times. Then you got the very solid sequel, Tremors 2 Aftershocks. Then you got Tremors 3 Back to Perfection. Tremors 4, The Legend Begins, which is a prequel that is not loved though, but I like for what it is, you know. But like I say, it's better. This is better than the next two sequels because you got Tremors 5, Bloodlines, and then Tremors: A Cold Day in Hell, which these are not good sequels. Which I think now it's time to stop. Now, to me, as I said, Tremors 4 is much better than those ones. And then next, we have a Halloween favorite, which is also one of the best horror anthologies, Trick or Treat. Then you got whatever happened with Kevin Smith when he went with this, Tusk. Then you got another bad one, The Unborn. You can see there. Then you got Unfriended, Vacancy. And then you got Valentine. So that's it for that. For that order, and closer to finishing off the horror section. Then you actually have John Carpenter's Vampires. Then you got the Vatican Tapes, John Carpenter's Village of the Damned. Then one of to me, he's been going. Speaking with John Carpenter, you know, he's been ever since Ghost of Mars. He took a long break, and he comes back to then years later comes back to direct this film, The Ward, which that's one of his worst ones. I mean, like he comes back years later. He goes and directs this film. Disappointing, especially from director John Carpenter. Then he got Watchers and Watchers 2, which I thought these are good, especially the first film. Then another double feature, which I thought these were pretty good films as well that no one talks about. Waxwork and Waxwork 2. These are pretty good. These are pretty good fun films. Then you got Wishmaster. I'll have to get the sequels because those are not good though, but still have to get the sequels. Next you got The Witch, which I reviewed, ranted a while back. Bad movie, but which is forgot this stars Anna Taylor-Joy, who only starts other movies, and of course they push back the New Mutants again. So yeah, but she won't star in that though. But yeah. Then you got Without Warning. There's a Blu-ray of it. Then they got the 2010 remake of The Wolfman. Then The Woman in Black with Daniel Radcliffe. And then one of the favorites of 2013, World War Z. Which I don't know what's going on with the sequel. They said they want to make a sequel, and keep on. I don't know what happened with that sequel. And here we get to the last of the horror genre right here. Starting with the franchise of Wrong Turn 2. To me, I only like the first two. The sequels, not so much. So that's 2. Then you got 3. Which I don't have number 4. About to get that though, but this is 5. And then 6. Which actually really enough. Do these really need to go on to make 6 sequels, 6 movies? I think it would be better if it was just the first 2. That's just me though. And then I ran this long ago. Zombie Croc, which I thought was an idea though, but it was a very bad, like a homemade, low budget project movie. Yeah. Then you have the Zombie Diaries, and then Zombies, which I ranted on this piece of crap too. Zombies, which, yeah. So that takes it, and that's it for the horror. That's it for the horror genre. So now we're moved on to the science fiction section right here. You see, no, right here, sci-fi. So now we'll get into the science fiction section now. So starting off first, we have the Sixth Day, which was one I did not mind with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then we have 10 million BC, which I ranted on this while back. I think I did. Forget though. Yeah, 10 million BC. And then you get to another classic from Stanley Kubrick, the two-disc special edition of 2001: A Space Odyssey. This one's another good classic one. And then follow up with a very solid sequel, which I enjoyed. 2010, the year we made Contact. And then you get 10,000 BC, bad film sadly from director Roland Emmerich. To me, I did not like this one. Then you got with the special edition of The Abyss. Another good one from James Cameron. Which I'm not looking forward to his sequels of the Avatars, which I think The Abyss is better than the first Avatar anyway. Then we got a favorite of mine from last year, Ad Astra. Then we got AI, Artificial Intelligence. Then we got Air, starring Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead. You got Jim Hunsu in there. I think this is, I mean, the people who are fans of especially a fan of Norman Reedus, probably should like the film, probably. Now, this one I definitely ranted. At this point, considering with the two cast members in this. Age of Dinosaurs with Tree Williams and Ronnie Cox. Yeah, no, I ranted this long ago. You can check it out. Then you got Akira, which science fiction anime, which I remember watching long ago, and I enjoyed this. Akira, or Acura, as some people call it, but I always call it Akira. Which, really enough, that Roger Ebert gave this film a thumbs up. You know, yeah, it's funny how Roger Ebert to watch an anime film like this and gives it a thumbs up. But yeah, I like Akira. And then we get to the Alien franchise now, which is I have here of the Alien quadrilogy of the first four movies. Don't want to take it out of the box to take too much time, so the Alien quadrilogy box set. And also, I just have the special I have the director's cut of the first Alien. And then we get to the Alien vs. Predator movies. The first one, and then AVPR, Requiem. And then... God. Yes, Alien Covenant, which I ranted this back in 2017. Yes. You can check out my rant on that. Piece of shit. And if people like that movie, that's fine. I didn't. So then we got Altered States. Then we got the Criterion collection of Armageddon, Michael Bay's Armageddon. To me, this one I think is very underrated. The Arrival, I reviewed this one with Charlie Sheen. I reviewed it. I think it's an underrated movie. Then I have the what year was this? I should say what year this is. It says 1993, so I think. But This was made for TV from HBO. So, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. This is like the '90s remake of it, starring Daryl Hannah. You know, who played from Splash. But that was like the made for that remake was made for cable. So, from what I remember. Oh. So then now we get to speaking with James Cameron of Avatar. Mention of Avatar. Here's the first one, this is the extended collector's edition. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this film though, but it has a lot of features. So I'm always, because I always like getting special collector's editions of certain movies. Because I'm always interested in features. So how they made the film work and all that stuff. So yeah, I may not be a fan of the film, but it's always good to watch the features. So. But I don't look forward to seeing the sequels either. So, and then we got to the Avengers movies. So the first one, the second one, Age of Ultron, and people want me to review these. I will eventually review the next two, Infinity War and then Endgame. I will review these eventually. So if people are asking, I will review these eventually. So not right now. Then we got the Back to the Future trilogy, trilogy collector's box set here, with a lot of features, which I enjoy all three Back to the Future films. Then we got Bad Taste, which was the debut for director Peter Jackson, and then you got Battle of the Damned. This was a fun Dolph Lundgren film, better than some of them. So him fighting robots, and you got zombies in there. So this was a fun Dolph Lundgren film. Yeah, moving on over here. The first. Is also one of the worst films ever made, I guess, and yes, this is definitely a very bad film. I can see why, but to me, my dad, he likes this movie though, but I don't. But to each their own. But Battlefield Earth, yeah, my dad actually likes this film. But this one I thought was a fun one. Battle Los Angeles, the same guy that directed, the first 2014 Ninja Turtles movie, sadly. But I enjoy Battle Los Angeles. Just get a little closer for a shot here. We got Battleship. And then I got the 4-disc collector's edition of the classic Blade Runner. You enjoy this one, classic one. Whoops, almost fell over. I was excited for Blade Runner, and I almost fell over. Then we got the sequel, which I enjoyed from 2017, Blade Runner 2049. Which is too bad that film was a huge flop, sadly, but I enjoyed it. I don't know why. Well, although it did get the critical praise though, but it was a huge flop. Well, hey, the first Blade Runner from '82 wasn't that big of a hit either, so. But it later become a cult classic. That's why. And then you got to this, Boa versus Python. So then now you got Captain Marvel, which I did not like. But people liked the film. That's fine, but I did not like it. Chappie. Then you got the 2010 remake of Clash of the Titans. And then you got the bad sequel, Wrath of the Titans, and I like Wrath of the Titans. Then you got the 30th anniversary Ultimate Edition of Steven Spielberg's Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which I'll have to review this film as well. So, but yeah, my dad he was just never a fan of this film. Sadly, really enough, I don't know why. Maybe it just wasn't interesting enough to him, or just wasn't that very eye-catching or whatever. Especially, he likes Richard Dreyfuss though, but yeah, this film was never my dad's cup of tea. So, but to me, I really enjoy this film. Then you got well, the reason why this is a 4 movie box set, a 4 movie set here though, but I got this mainly because of what was it? This is C, B. Where is it? Yeah, this is C. So I guess this here is for coma, I guess, because this is in the C's. Or yeah, I think it was either that or body snatchers though. But yeah, I think this is mainly for body snatchers. Yeah, because this is next to Bull vs. Python. So yeah, this is here was mainly for body snatchers. But it comes with 4 other films from Bad Moon, which is a werewolf film I also like. Then you got Wolfen, which is not that good though. But then you got Coma with Michael Douglas. But this was mainly for body snatchers. And then you got the classic, another classic Ron Howard film, Cocoon. And then you got the sequel, The Return. Then we got Contact, The Core, fun one from back in 2011, Cowboys and Aliens, and then this one I thought was disappointing. Well, Cowboys versus Dinosaurs. Then we get to Critters. And this one was a good sequel. The number 2, The Main Course. Then you got number 3, which is the debut for Leonardo DiCaprio. Number 3. And then you got number 4. And speaking of the Critters, more of the Critters, I got the Blu-ray box set. So it was cool to have. So the Critters Blu-ray box set. Then we got another good Van Damme film, Cyborg. And then we got Cyborg 2, which has a good. This is not great though, or not good I would say though, but not like for the first Cyborg though. But this is the debut for Angelina Jolie. Really enough, really enough, and but it has Jack Palance and you got Elias Kosteas and Billy Drago, who passed away last year. But yeah, not as good as the first one. And then we got The Day After Tomorrow. And then of Deep Shock. This one I also rented long ago. Yeah, The Dinosaur Experiment. That was a piece of crap movie. Then we got, this is the mini-series of Dinotopia. And then another version of Dinotopia. I think it was. Then we got the Divergent and the sequel Insurgent. I don't have the third one. But since the third one did badly, they canceled the fourth one. Then we got District 9. And then one of my favorite Marvel ones, Doctor Strange, which I already said about how the director left, and then now that Sam Raimi's going to direct the sequel. More on that later. Then we got Doom, which I know people are not a fan of though, but I actually like this Doom movie. Yeah, it's not the definitive Doom that people wanted though, but I enjoy the film on its own. Especially I like Carl Urban, I like Dwayne Johnson. Simplify, motherfucker. But yeah, my brother also enjoys this film, and of course the one that came out last year, Annihilation, which I don't know why it's so hard to do, to make a film like Hardcore Henry mixed it with Doom, This is way better than that Abomination from last year. And then we got Dragon Wars. Another good one with Tom Cruise. Edge of Tomorrow, which I've heard they're planning on doing a sequel. Why? I thought they won, and all that though. So I don't know why they're doing a sequel. But I really do enjoy Edge of Tomorrow. Then you got Equilibrium, which is a very fun one. I think it was my favorite film with Christian Bale. I enjoy Equilibrium. Then we got E.T., the Extraterrestrial. Then we got Evolution, which is a really fun one that directed by Ivan Reitman. Fun film. Then there is Extinction, Jurassic Predators. Then we got The Faculty, Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. The only reason why I got this is to see. I'm not a fan of Harry Potter, this whole universe of Harry Potter. I just wanted to get to see how Johnny Depp plays as the villainous wizard Grindelwald. That was it. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this whole franchise either, but still. Then we got the extended edition of the 2005 Fantastic Four. And then the sequel, Rise of the Silver Surfer. And yes, I have this one, which I really did not mind, really enough. I'm one of the few people that did not mind this movie, but everybody hates this one. But I'm one of the few that likes it, okay? So don't shoot me on that. Of this 2015 Fantastic Four film. Then we got The Fifth Element. And then Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within. So that's it on that part of the shelf. Now moving on lore down here now. So there's a lore right here. From one with Christopher Lambert, Fortress. Then you got Free Jack. And then another favorite Marvel film of mine, Ghost Rider. People make fun of Nicolas Cage all they want though, but I like Ghost Rider. This is the 2-disc extended cut. But sadly though, this film was bad as well. This one was bad. Spirit of Vengeance, disappointing. And then we got, speaking with Akira, and then we got here another anime movie, which also becomes a franchise. The Ghost in the Shell, which is surprisingly another one that Roger Ebert also gave a thumbs up. So, yeah, we call it. Well, Cisco Neighbor gave this a thumbs up there though, but Roger Ebert liked this film too. So right down there. So yeah, so he likes. I guess he likes anime movies. He likes Akira and he liked Ghost in the Shell really enough. Yeah, Roger Ebert, rest in peace. But I just kind of find it funny, And then you got, which this gets hate on, but I enjoyed it though, John Carpenter's Ghost of Mars. I enjoy Ghost of Mars. And then we get to the Godzilla franchise. Now I don't have all of them yet though, but I will still one day complete the whole entire collection of the Godzilla movies. So, but I will get there one day though. But so for now, starting with the all-time classic, the original 1954 film Gojira, always an all-time classic. Then, of course, one of my all-time favorites. I would say it's my second all-time favorite film behind Jurassic Park. That's why part of my name is Jurassic Godzilla fan from Jurassic Park, and the Godzilla name from this one. That's why. Yeah, but I've said this countless times how I grew up loving this film. I had a great time seeing this in the theater back when I was a kid, 1998. Love this film to death. I just never understood why the freaking hate because I don't want to get into it. I've already explained about how Godzilla looked and this and that, the babies and everything, the casting, whatever. I always loved the 1998 Godzilla film. It's my second all-time favorite film. So yeah, people can argue with me on that though, but you're not making me change my mind about it. Then we got to this here. I thought I rented earlier this year, but this is much better than the 2014 one. This was just disappointing. I said it before, Bryan Cranston was the best part of the movie, and they killed him off early. He was completely stupid enough to do that. He died before Godzilla came in the picture. His character never got to see Godzilla. But I ranted on it earlier this month, earlier this year, so you can check it out. But to me, I think this was an improvement. I would say one of my favorites of last year, King of the Monsters. To me, I think this is much better than the first one. So you can check my review on that. Review from last year. Then we got Godzilla Raids Again. Then King Ghidorah. The Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. Then we got Godzilla vs. Gigan. And Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster. It's one of my favorites of the franchise. And this is this is the one that introduced me to Godzilla when I was a kid. Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. This is the very first Godzilla film I ever saw. Then we got Godzilla 1984. Then we got Mothra vs. Godzilla. Then we got Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, are also known as Giant Monsters All-Out Attack, or call it Godzilla GMNK. That's what that was called. GMAK, I think it was. I forget. But yeah, this is another good one of the franchise. Then we got Godzilla vs. King Kong. I just hope the one coming out later this year doesn't disappoint. Then we got Son of Godzilla. Then Godzilla 2000. And this was just a very sucky Godzilla film. Shin Godzilla. How the way Godzilla looked in the beginning is stages. Really, that's Godzilla? Really? And too much talking and all that stuff, and just, that's one of the worst Godzilla films I've seen. So now moving on, we got a 2-disc special edition of Gravity, which I really did enjoy, with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. The best movie of the year, yeah, I would agree with that, from 2013. I really enjoyed Gravity. And yes, I'm also one of the few people that likes this movie. I like The Green Lantern 2011 with Ryan Reynolds. Sorry. I'm one of the people that thinks this is a bad film. I like the Green Lantern film. Then we got the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Then Volume 2. And then I want to enjoy with Will Smith. This is a two disc unrated special edition of Hancock. Then we got here is the director's cut 3-disc edition of Hellboy. Then the 3-disc special edition of Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. And then got to the bad one from last year, the 2019 Hellboy one. Yeah. And then we got Highlander. And then Highlander 2: The Quickening, which is also considered one of the worst movies ever made. To me, I like the one. I like part 2. So I disagree on that. So again, we got another underrated film, Hollow Man. Then we got this one. I reviewed this film and I defended this film. And also one of the very few films I think that many people hate to death, Howard the Duck. I reviewed this film, me defending the film. Then we got The Incredible Hulk. And then this franchise, which I'm not particularly a fan of because I'm not a fan of the actress, but The Hunger Games, The Catching Fire, Mockingjay Part 1, and Mockingjay Part 2. Yeah. Then we got here, we have got I Am Legend, another good one with Will Smith. Then we got Ice Road Terror, I ranted on this one a while back. Inception. Then one other underrated, even though it's still, maybe people like it though, but still I feel like it's underrated because still people don't like this film still. Independence Day. I don't know why people still don't like this film. To me, it's another classic one from 1996. I love Independence Day. Now this is a piece of garbage. Right, this is one of the worst. This is the worst film for me from 2016. Resurgence, Arch Color, Independence Day, Regurgitate. I ain't talking about. I did a big rant on this a while back. Check it out. This is a piece of garbage. So many stupid things they did with that film. And next we got Inner Space. Then we got Interstellar. Then we got the 78 remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the collector's edition. I, Robot, which is a fun film. Then you get the special edition, Ultimate 2-disc edition of Iron Man. And then we got Iron Man 2. I don't have Iron Man 3 because that was a piece of garbage too. So I don't have Iron Man 3. But then we got my favorite Michael Bay film, which is also underrated, The Island. And I think that's about it for this show. So I'm just gonna end this part right here. So moving on to part 4. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 4 of my collection. Later.